Got my Tim's, ready to go. It's not that good of coffee, it's just convenient. But today we're going to be talking about everything you need to know to install Windows in your new Sprinter van. So let's roll that intro and let's get started. Installing Windows in your Sprinter van really isn't that hard of a project. Doesn't require any special tools or any special skills that some of the other aspects of the van build do require. The biggest hurdle is just getting over the fear of cutting holes in your new vehicle. Once you get over that fear, it's a pretty easy install. So therefore, I'm going to rank this project as a beginner to intermediate level project in the van build. And if everything goes as planned, I think it's super feasible to get 2 windows installed in a day. So we're calling the difficulty of this project intermediate to beginner, and a 1-day project to get 2 windows installed. So what are some of the tools and materials you're going to need to complete this project? First off, you're going to need the windows. As I mentioned before, I use the CR Laurence Windows. I've used them on my past van. They're super common windows. The company is easy to deal with. You can actually order them off Amazon. They come quick. They have a bunch of different options, and on my van, I chose to install a sliding door window and opposite the sliding door. And I went with the T-vent option, so both of the windows actually do open to kind of create that nice airflow and sort of cross breeze across the window. With my roof rack setup, I don't have room to install 2 roof vent fans, one for intake and one for exhaust to get that airflow throughout the van. Having the T-vent windows is something that's really going to increase the airflow in the van and help keep it cool on those warm days. Once you have the windows and you're ready to get going, it's not a bad idea just to take them out of the box and make sure you did get the right ones. I've heard some horror stories of people that order the wrong windows, they cut the hole, and they've got nothing to go in the hole that fits. I'm lucky I've got the shop, so if they did happen to be the wrong windows, not a big deal. But for most builders, they're doing it outside. Once you've got a hole in the van, you kind of need that window to go back in to fix the hole. You don't have a week to wait to get the new windows. So just double check you have the right ones. I like to install my windows using a jigsaw. I find that I get the most control and the nicest cut with it. I do see some people use a Dremel or an angle grinder. The reason I don't use an angle grinder is because it does create sparks, and the sparks are hitting the outside of the vehicle and they could damage the paint depending on how well you mask and tape everything off. So I chose to go with an angle grinder. I chose to go with the jigsaw, not the angle grinder. The one risk there is you need to take your time and go slow, because if the jigsaw blade does hook the metal because you're not careful, it could warp or bend the sheet metal of the van. So just use a fresh metal blade, go slow, take your time, and you shouldn't have any issues with using a jigsaw. You're also going to need some painter's tape to tape off the outside of the vehicle, a drill and drill bits to cut your pilot holes, and a paintbrush and some rust-proof paint to paint the edge that you've cut before installing the window. So now we're going to get into the actual steps that goes into installing these windows into your Sprinter van. When installing these windows in the van, most people are super scared about cutting a hole that's either too big or too small. With the CRL windows, it's very easy on the Sprinter van, because if you look inside the van, there's a very obvious double rib in each of the possible locations for the window. Doesn't matter where you're putting it, whether it's the sides of the vehicle or the rear doors. And you pretty much have to cut exactly on that line. So there's not a whole lot of guesswork. These windows are made pretty much perfect. So as long as you cut exactly on that line, you're going to be good to go. So don't worry about that. You almost have a built-in template with the vehicle. So the first thing that I like to do is from the inside of the vehicle, because you can see this built-in template, is I like to drill some pilot holes in all of the corners. The corners are kind of the hardest part. So what I do is I drill, a few pilot holes following the radius of all 4 corners all the way around until I've got them nicely mapped out. And then I move to the outside of the vehicle and I mask off everything following that line. So that way I use the edge of my painter's tape as my cut mark. So as long as I connect a nice straight line between the corners, and then I have the pilot holes around the corners, I'm going to get a very nice clean cut that should be pretty well perfect. I've never had these windows where it does need a little bit of touch up once I do the first cut. But that's the easiest way to do it, is drill the pilot holes from the inside out. That gives you kind of your cut area, then mask everything off. With the masking everything off, you do want to mask off the outside of the cut line where the jigsaw is going to be riding, because you don't want to scratch the surface of the vehicle. Don't worry about taping inside the line, because that's all throwaway material. But do tape, double wide so the jigsaw blade or the jigsaw fence or deck has a nice path to ride on. And I suggest doubling it up just to be safe because you don't want to scratch the surface of the vehicle. Once you've got it all masked off, you do have to cut a few more holes through the van as little pilot holes to get the jigsaw blade in. You can either use a stepper bit or just use regular drill bits and just drill a smaller hole and then step it up 2 or 3 times until you have a hole big enough that a jigsaw blade can actually fit through. I suggest doing, 2 or 3 of these in sort of near the corners of it so you have a few places when you're cutting that you can enter and exit the material. So now that you're ready to start cutting, one thing that does make this project a lot easier is having a spotter or a second person that stands inside the vehicle, and they can tell you as you're cutting if you're on the proper line because they can see the blade running along that double layer thickness. So that person inside just kind of helps make sure that you don't have to do as much trimming afterwards when you get it out and you're not going too deep in the material. When completing the cut, I like to do the sides of the window first, then the bottom, and then saving the top for last. That way that the entire weight of the piece you're cutting out is being supported by the top and it won't shake or flex. And then when you finally are ready to cut the top out, the person on the inside can hold the window, you can complete the cut, and they can just remove the waste piece of material. You will notice that when we do our cuts, that we kind of skip the corners in the first cut, so we kind of jog around them. And this is just to make it easier so that we just get the bulk of the material out of the way, and then we come in afterwards when we can kind of see our cut, and then we just round out the corners. Once you've got the material all cut out of the way, it's now time to test fit it. Like I said before, I've done 3 of these windows, only 1 of them fit on the first try. So test fit it, have somebody go in the van, and actually with a pencil, you can just kind of mark the areas that need to be trimmed out slightly from the inside. Remove the window, trim them up, and it should be good to fit. Once you have the window in place, just make sure it wiggles and it's not hung up or binding anywhere. Sometimes you have to force it in, and you just want to make sure you are getting a good seal. It shouldn't be tight or binding. The window should flex and wiggle a little bit in space. So now that we've got the window all ready to go, next step is to remove the window, and I like to paint the cut edge. Usually what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of a grinding wheel, sanding wheel, and we'll just kind of sand the edge, and then we'll just use some rust-proof paint and just paint that bare metal edge to prevent any possible rusting. After the painted edge has dried, it's now time to put the window in. So you put the window in, one person holds it on the outside while the other person goes inside to actually fasten the window. The CR Laurence come with a trim ring. So that trim ring, the window's on the outside, you have the vehicle metal, and then you have the trim ring. So the trim ring screws to the window and sandwiches it between the sheet metal of the vehicle, and that's what holds it into place, and also seals the rubber gasket around the outside to prevent any leaking. My kind of tricks with the trim ring are that I start in the top of the middle, and I work my way around one side to the bottom, and then the other side to the bottom where they come together. You know you've done it right if you have a slight overlap at the bottom of the trim ring. You don't want any gapping. If there's any gap at the bottom of the trim ring, you don't have it tight enough around. The screws that CR Laurence provides for attaching the trim ring to the window, they are a self-tapping screw. And when you're putting them in, you'll see a little groove on the window, and these screws actually screw into the groove. They tap their own threads in, and that's what holds it tight. So keep in mind they are going into soft aluminum. So it's not a bad idea to turn your drill down low or even hand tighten them at first to avoid stripping them out. They are fairly strong and it does work well. And there is a good chance if you feel like you're stripping the screw immediately when you try to put it in, you're probably just not hitting the groove on the window properly. So just reposition it, put the screw at an angle, try to find that groove, and it should suck everything in nice and tight. Once you've got everything screwed together, go to the outside of the van, and you can kind of, just by looking visually the way the window sits with all of the lines of the van, you can kind of tell if you have it right. There is going to be a bit of a gap between the window and the frame of the vehicle, the way the window is designed, but all the lines should flow nicely and nothing should look, not one corner should be sticking way out or one sucked way in. So as long as everything looks uniform, I'm sure you have it all installed properly. One other pro tip or additional step that's totally not necessary when you're building a van, but you might have noticed if you're following along on Instagram with this project, is that before I installed the windows, I actually covered the bare metal area with a Duramax fabric before I installed the window. The reason I did that is that on my last van, I left the metal bare, and it always kind of bothered me that it had a bit of an unfinished look to it. So I'd seen other builders that cover this area with this Duramax fabric or Marathon tweed, and it just gives it a really nice, clean, finished look. So the way you go about this is, again, the product is called Duramax. You can get it online. I'll put a few links in the description below of where I got it and some of the other places I've seen people get it. So basically what you do is you mask off the entire area where you want to install the fabric. Once you have the area masked off, then you're going to want to roll out your fabric. And I took the cutout piece that we cut out of the window to kind of trace the rough area of how much fabric I needed. I went around it in a black Sharpie, and then we cut that. So we kind of had our working piece of material. Then what I did is we actually cut the sort of a circle out just to make the fabric easier to deal with, and so we had to fight it a little less, get rid of that resistance in the middle. Then for this project, I did buy a paint sprayer, which I'm using not really for any painting, mainly just for spraying adhesive. I've had to use it a few times on this project. It's essentially a contact cement. So what we did, that's why we taped off the inside of the van, is we sprayed the bare metal we want to cover with the fabric or upholster with the contact cement. Then we came out and we covered the fabric with the same contact cement. You want to make sure you have a good liberal coating everywhere, because if you don't have, basically where you don't have the adhesive on both the fabric and the metal, it's not going to stick, making the upholstering very difficult, because as you're working the corners, you really need it to be sticky. So now that you've got both pieces sprayed, you basically wait till they feel dry, give them, 10 minutes. So when you touch it, it doesn't feel too tacky, it's almost dry to the touch. And now it's time to install it. Again, I'm not a professional at this at all. This is the first time I've done this, but basically just taking your time and being patient as your friend. So we brought the sheet or the fabric into the vehicle. We kind of marked it in place, got it roughly where we needed it. My dad was on the outside of the vehicle and kind of lined up all the edges. So we had it just kind of tacked in place using the adhesive. And then we came into the van and we each took a side, and then we just kind of massaged it, and we worked the corners and just tried to get all the wrinkles out, and just took our time stretching and pulling and stretching and pulling and sticking it in place. I'm super happy with the final product. It actually went, when we first started, I was a little bit, I guess, pessimistic. It just didn't seem like the fabric had enough stretch, and it wasn't going to work in the corners nicely, and it was going to turn out looking terrible, and I'd have contact cement stuck everywhere and just kind of be scratching my head as to what I've done. But it went perfect. It looks amazing. So now I plan to upholster. Battery died on the camera, but I kind of forget where I was, but I was talking about the upholstery on the windows. Turned out awesome. I'm super pumped. Glad I did it. It really gives the van that kind of nice professional finished look. It doesn't have to be perfect, because with the material, you just kind of cut it where it's not going to be visible. Just make sure you overlap enough so that, your upper cabinets hide the top section and a wall panel hides the sides. And just ties everything together super nice. So if you're looking for a way to make sure your van has that like complete finished sort of professional look, I highly recommend giving it a try. So I hope you found that information valuable. That's kind of how I go about installing these windows on the Sprinter vans. It's worked for me. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but this is the third one I've done. Every one, we followed the exact same process, and it gets easier and easier every time. If you are looking for more information on building these vans or more detailed step-by-step stuff, on my first van, I did create a full build guide, so you can check that out. The link's in the description below, as well as we just have tons of sort of van build and van life content you can take a look at. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right there or there. I kind of forget. I think it's here. Pretty sure it's here. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.